Hey, folks, welcome to Tracks and Tackle. It is me, Ron Mentzer, the Arrow Eagle, hanging out with you tonight. And I'm going to bring my trusty sidekick, Buck, along with me. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good, man. How about yourself tonight?
I'm living the dream, as we like to say. As we like to
Yeah.
say, we had a last minute change in our plans tonight. And no guests tonight, but we're going to bring the heat. I got a show for us, and we're going to be talking about some legends passing and some dorm room butchering. And the fall hunting season is firing up. Looks like we got Shane join with us. Hey, Shane, bring you on. What's going on, man?
What's up, buddy? Can you hear me?
We can hear you. Can you hear us?
Yes, sir. What's going on, fellas?
Well, another
Appreciate
day.
you. Yeah,
It's
appreciate
it's
you
finally
hopping
it's
in, man.
finally it's finally raining a little bit. We got a little rain here today.
Oh, yeah, it's been pouring here.
Yeah,
Working it all day.
we're getting old when we appreciate the rain.
Yeah.
you know? So yeah. So tonight's show, we had a guest lined up, and family emergency pops up, and that happens. Family comes first. So he shot me a note here, like not maybe 20 minutes ago, saying, "Hate to do it, but I got to take care of family." So that's what we're gonna do tonight. We're gonna pivot. And this is going to be a testament to how great the Tracks and Tackle team can pivot on short notice. I literally changed. I was telling Buck, I spent the last 15 minutes, like right up to the beginning of the stream, trying to update the YouTube description and everything that goes along on the back end. But tonight, man, right after the guest had shot me a text, another friend of mine shot me a note and said that Robert Redford had passed.
Yeah, I
And
just saw that on Facebook right before you sent us that.
I was like, man, I did not know that happened. I guess it happened yesterday or last night. And yeah, so I want to play a clip. So I bring up Robert Redford because he was in this iconic movie, Jeremiah Johnson, that most outdoorsmen are familiar with.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like one of those movies. It's like it's an older film, 1972. It's like a 2 hour long video, and it's not fast paced like the kids like today.
Right.
But it is a cool story, and it's based on a true story. So I want to try something here because Buck, you're not a movie buff, right? So
No,
he says, I'm not the guy to talk about this
I'm not. I'm
subject.
I'm not a current events guy, man. I don't watch the news. I don't. I'm not up on that. That's good. I'll go out in the woods. We'll talk about the trees or something.
Dude, you got it right though. If you're not watching the news, you're doing good.
Yeah.
All right, I want to see if I can share my screen real quick, and I'm going to pull this up if I can. Maybe not. Maybe I won't be allowed.
Yeah, I've never tried to like overlay clips. I'm not 100% sure.
I'm just
I
happy
can
when the computer turns on, man.
later. I got a new computer too, so like that's part of the deal. So we got a couple of people watching at the beginning of the show, and then you have issues like this where we're not perfect,
Right.
and
Yeah.
that's where you lose them. So I want
Yeah.
to share audio. I want to share this right here. Tell me if
There we go.
you guys
There
with
we
me
got it.
now. Let's see if we can watch this video, and I want to make sure you can hear it too. This is the setup for this is he's out in the wild. Jeremiah Johnson, he gets an Indian squaw given to him by a chief as his wife, and they don't speak the same language, and she's trying to prepare food for him. And he's introducing her to the English language, and he tells her this famous line. I use it all the time. This is my favorite line in the movie. He says, "Great hunter, it is all you need to know." So let's watch it. He doesn't bigger cooking.
Sucker died.
Just gonna speed it up.
Go on, boy. Good boy.
So he sends the boy to eat the food, and he gets some jerky out of his mule pack because he can't stand her cooking.
No. I'm full. You religious too? Religious. I'm not gonna harm you. Religious. Yes. Yes. Yeah. I'm not gonna harm you. Yes.
This is a great movie.
Yes.
Yes.
And that a lot easier than all that gibberish.
They don't make movies like this anymore. This is going to offend someone, or even.
I was just about to say that.
Yes. Fine figure of a man. Yes. Yes.
Yes.
That is all you need to know for now.
Great hunter, fine figure of a man.
You get enough, boy? Yes.
So I say that all the time, you know, when I'm clowning around. It's like mighty hunter. That is all you need to know. Fine figure of a man. Yes. So
That's what we're preaching every time we come home with the empty truck.
Yeah, I know, right? You got to tell yourself. You got to psych yourself up. Yeah. So anyway, this is like sad day for me. I'm not like a super movie buff type guy, but you know, I watch this at least once a year, probably this time of year, hyping myself up for hunting season. And then I was just telling Matt about, you know, the plot. You know, it's a guy going out and just making it. You know, living in the outdoors. We watch YouTube now for that, but it was definitely a classic, and you know, sad to see him pass.
Yeah, I was every time I watch that movie, I always just think of that meme that everybody has clipped, where you know what I'm talking about, where he's just like,
yeah, he's standing up there from the in the creek.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, it's funny, man. Yeah, no, it's when I saw that, it hurt a little bit because I also really enjoyed that movie.
So as an outdoorsman, you know, what is his, you know, like the movie on a topic like this? Like, how has it influenced you guys? Has it, you know, for me, like I said, I watch it every year, and my wife's like, "You're watching that again?" You know, because I've seen it a million times, but I don't know. It's got that primal living off the land. Either you live or you die, and it shows like the people that didn't make it versus the people that did. You know, what I don't know. There's a theme, I guess, of self-reliance, and so like, what does that mean to you guys? You know, going out into the woods, because we are outdoorsmen. We do go out. It's different for sure. We're not living in the wild, but what does self-reliance mean to you and your craft as you're bow hunting this year?
You want me to take it first?
Either of you guys, just hop in, man. No dead air.
Yeah, I mean, I always watch these movies, especially that one, because the way he has to figure everything out, and the way I look at it in today's world is maybe not necessarily we do it to absolutely survive, but I like to know that I have enough woodsmanship that I can understand what's going on out there. I can read things. I can look at different sign and tell, you know, what animal it was, what it's doing, where it's going, stuff like that. That way, if, you know, God forbid, we're ever put in a situation where it is necessary for survival, I'd like to think to myself, at least think to myself that I could probably do it, you know, on my own, just like he was trying to do it on his own.
Yeah, and we're like tech heavy and everything that we do.
Right.
Where you go back and you watch these older films and stuff. And we talked about this in a couple shows back, where we're talking about where does like having the gear steal our skill from us.
Yeah, I mean, the way I look at it too is like okay, for example, backpack guys, backpack hunters, so big game guys, anybody that's in the mountains, like all you need anymore is a dehydrated meal and a jet boil, and you got your food anywhere you want. You could pack it. It's light, it's easy to get around. Whereas before, you're reliant on making your own fires on the side of the mountain. So you have to know how to do that. You have to know how to find dry wood. And then you have to be able to supply the food, whether that means packing in, a bunch of meat or vegetables, whatever, or killing whatever you can find along the way to, supplement yourself while you're hunting.
Yeah, a lot of different elements come into play, in surviving in the wild.
Right.
Buck, I know you're not familiar with the movie, so like we're gonna have to.
Pry it out of me.
No, we're gonna have to sit down and put you through the 2 hours of learning this, man. Like I feel like everybody should see this film. Certainly as a tribute as this guy's gone, but what do you think? Like self-reliance in the wild, how does that stack up against today's tech heavy hunts?
That's a good question. I remember, just speaking from my experience hunting, and Ron, we started together, grew up together, and we didn't have trail cameras even when we hunted. You found the deer trail and you kind of just worked on patterning that deer. You followed what you could follow, and we have become tech heavy now. I got cell cameras out there sending me pictures, and I know, well, yeah, they're on that trail, but they're on that trail at 6:30 in the morning, so I need to be this way from that spot to hunt them deer, or whatever. It's made us lazy. It's made it.
There's definitely an advantage. Go ahead, Shane.
I was just gonna say this is coming from Maryland. Maryland and PA hunters don't quite see eye to eye, but this is one area where I think PA hunters do a really good job. Is you guys, because you're hunting in these mountains up there, your guys are really good at cutting a trail, right? Especially in the snow. That's primarily. I don't know about primarily, but I know a lot of guys up there that's what they do. After a fresh snow, is they'll find a buck track and they'll cut a trail, or all the way to the point where they jump it or shoot it. And you just don't see that around here much. I'm sure there's guys doing it, obviously, but most people around here, when it gets cold, we're just putting out a corn pile or hunting over a food plot, something like that. We're not necessarily cutting trails anymore.
Yeah, I'll say, whitetails are a lot like when it comes to snow on the ground, like they're just like kids, man. They're just like my dog. They like the snow. They like that cold air. And when you have tracks, that makes hunting fun. Right. We've done a lot of walking through the woods and briar patches and cornfields and, all from the mountains to the fields. We've done our share of boot leather express. But when you got tracks, there's something's been there.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's kind of like, even if you're sitting in a stand, for me, I can sit all day long and not see anything, and I'm good with it. But man, when I'm seeing deer, it doesn't feel like a long sit. Even if I don't take something, if you're seeing movement, if you're seeing animals, it makes the sit so much, I guess, more enjoyable and passes the time along.
Right. And I give Mason a lot of credit in that sense too, because he's actually really good at reading sign and understanding where the bedding area is in correlation to that sign and setting up and only hunting the right winds for them to leave the bedding. That's essentially what he did on this last buck he just killed over the weekend. He went into a spot where he knew it was a transition from bed to food, found a fresh rub, identified it as, potentially a decent deer. And just based off of where he knew the bedding area was, he told himself, I'm just going to wait for that south wind when it's good for him. And he did. No trail camera, nothing, went in there on the right wind and, he killed that nice buck.
It's all about right place, right time, but there's definitely strategy involved too.
Yeah,
Oh, for sure.
All right, well, let me shift gears. I wanted to start the show off, pay respects to Jeremiah Johnson, Robert Redford. It was really cool because earlier this week I was flipping through YouTube and I saw a short 7-minute documentary on the real Jeremiah Johnson, based on a real story, and it went and it gave his story and showed where the movie veered off of the historical character, but movie from the 72. I think he was 89 years old. So, RIP Mountain Man.
I'm looking up other movies he did too. Was he the Sundance Kid? I did not realize that. Or was he Butch Cassidy?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure who he was. You might have to consult Google.
Yeah, he was in that movie. I know that.
Yeah. So I want to shift though. I'll bring it full circle, and we'll come back to popular movies. But I want to talk about like the silver screen guys, and we're going to shift to some rookies, these young guys. I remember when it was like when I was in my 20s and my teens, and Buck, we did a lot of hunting together and stuff like that. And Shane, you're probably the same as us. Like any chance you could, you probably were out, out in the fields, out in the woods, whether you're fishing, you're hunting, or whatever. We had a lot more time when we were younger to do that. But so this has been all over Facebook and Instagram. But these guys at Cornell, an Ivy League school, basically they take a black bear and they skin it and butcher it in their dorm kitchen. and the cops are called. Like no charges were filed, but I mean, one, it being an Ivy League school, you don't expect that. You think like of more studious kids, but if you're an outdoorsman, it doesn't matter, man. There's a lot of smart people out there.
Right.
Hunting's hunting,
Right.
So I guess it's like 120-pound black bear. It's New York's early season, and they take this thing into the dorm kitchen and they process it. And so I don't know, legal hunt, but dorm room processing. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I'm about it. I've partaked in some of my college. I never butchered a deer in a dorm room, but I can remember a couple times showing up to class, parking with my buddy in his Jeep, and like does laying on top of the Jeep, dripping blood everywhere while we ran into class real quick, and then coming out and going and butcher him at his house,
taking care of him afterwards.
Yeah.
I think the key here in this story, as I think about it and we talk it out loud, it's having that hunting buddy to egg you on.
Oh yeah.
The things you do with a partner that you wouldn't probably address on your own. I don't know. You got any stories, Buck, of going out and hunting with other guys and maybe bending the rules a little bit?
Well, there's a lot of them. Probably shouldn't even talk about a lot of that. But I mean, I remember being younger. We were great at picking up roadkills, man. They were, that's fresh when we drag it home, and it was getting, that thing was getting cut up, and we were frying backstraps tonight yet,
Still fresh.
Especially, like you said, you had a partner. There was more than one guy in the truck, and you went to town, and you come back, and you're like, wait a minute, that thing wasn't laying there. That's definitely a good one. Get it,
Mm-hmm.
Jump. And then some of them weren't. They weren't always necessarily fully dead too. That was some of the best. They were some of the best stories. The ones that weren't quite dead.
Just Tommy boy just going crazy in the
back. Yeah, it revives in the back seat.
Yeah. Those are the good times. Yeah, you wouldn't have threw that thing off there by yourself, but all it takes was a buddy to be like, hey, there's a deer, let's grab it. Come on.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up? What's up, Nordic, Noah, and Keystone guys? How you guys hanging? Guys are chiming in the chat. Yeah, I mean, if you got some stories, I'm just thinking of like some wild stories. I got one that, because I would do stupid things to try to get the deer, right? And this was one I was on my own, but I wasn't necessarily being egged on by a partner. I just, you do dumb stuff sometimes. And I was lucky, but I was hunting a new part of land. I had a buddy, and his grandparents had a wooded lot, and we had permission to go bow hunt on it. And he told me about where a tree stand was. I wasn't familiar with the territory, but I got in there one evening, and I was able to find a stand. And I sat there till dark. And you know how it is. You're sitting there at night. Everybody comes rolling out. And right before dark, I got a line of 2 or 3 does, walking past the stand. Well, it was dark enough that I had started to like gather my stuff out. I had my flashlight out, and I was getting my bow off my hook. I was just sort of putting things away, and then you hear movement. So you'd kill the light, and I'm sitting, and there's this young doe comes standing under the stand. Now it's light enough that I can see this doe under the tree, but it's probably, push and shooting light, right? So, me being, 15 years old or whatever I was, 16, I was driving. So I was at least 16 years old. I got a flashlight. I got the bow. I probably shouldn't tell this story on hopefully wrong people aren't hearing it, but I put this flashlight, this mini mag light in my teeth, and I'm holding the light to see my sight. And I drew back, and all I could do is pray that when I let that arrow fly, that I didn't lose any chicklets. And I got the doe, and I harvested the doe. And whenever I brought it home, and I'm like, man, I shot it with the light. And it sounds a lot worse than what it really was. Right. But I'm just saying, like, we do stupid stuff sometimes to connect the dots, to get you from one place to the next. And that's one that I'll remember, because I thought, like, after I shot that deer, I'm like, man, I hope I hit it good, because I don't know this terrain. I don't know these woods, and luckily, it was, 25, 30 yards and rolled over. Right. But, yeah, it's nothing like that time at night whenever the lights go out and then the sun's going down, and you just want that last little bit of daylight.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love hunting by myself and with my dad and other people, but man, some of the best hunts were like college years with my buddy Alex. I mean, like you said, just doing just the most ridiculous things. And looking back on it, like when we were all like, yeah, this is a good idea. Like, this is a good plan.
Horrible idea.
This is a good, all terrible ideas, all of them.
Every last one of them.
Yeah, I remember driving for deer. Buck, we did a lot of driving together. That's primarily the hunting we did together.
Yeah,
was driving for deer, and man,
we did it like it was our job for 2 weeks of rifle season. Now, when I look back on it now, it's like we hunted for 2 weeks of rifle season like it was our job.
Yeah. I mean, we took it seriously.
Yeah, like we did for 2 weeks. It was like our job. Yeah, it was like a job. But yeah, we did.
So we got into some tough stuff. I know I was just watching, Brady put out his first, I guess it's his second video, but his first track with his dog, Cincy. He's taking it out tracking and stuff. And I'm just watching him beat through some of the briars and the tall grass and stuff that you don't want. Like, the dog didn't look like it wanted to go through it. Right. But we've done that. Like, we were the dogs when we were younger. And, we would bust through those brush piles and briar patches and stuff. And when you're driving deer, obviously you're successful if you're pushing deer out the other end of the briar patch. And, the elders within our community, you might get a Snickers bar or something if you were a good dog and you got out there. So you come out torn camo, shirts are all torn, ripped up, hats ripped up, bleeding from the face, and they're like, here, have a mini Snickers and keep going to the next pile. But that's how we cut our teeth on it. And like Buck said, man, we took it serious because we were able to be part of something. Yeah. And I think that's kind of like finding a good hunting buddy and doing that sort of stuff. We push the limits a little bit, right? Right.
And it's good to have different friends to do different things with, because there's a lot of stuff that I tried that I probably wouldn't have ever tried, by myself. Like, like we didn't meet until college, and we got to be best friends. But like he grew up rabbit hunting, right?
Right.
We never rabbit hunted here. We didn't have dogs or anything for it. We never kicked brush or anything like that. And I can't tell you how many times we did that together. And once I did the first time, it was just such a blast, just kicking brush and pushing rabbits and stuff. And it's probably something I would have never even tried if I didn't have him as a hunting buddy.
Shane, do you process your own meat too, or do you take it to get processed?
It just depends. Early season, I'll take it somewhere if it's hot. But if it's cold enough where I can hang it in my garage, I'll do it myself.
We hit this up on it might have been last week's episode where we were just talking pros and cons of self-processing, because there are pros and cons to both, right? To taking it to somebody else versus doing it yourself. But I never did it in a dorm room, but I've definitely processed a lot of deer in the garage. So
yeah, garage and the kitchen table,
on the kitchen table quite a few times.
The hardest part is doing it in the woods. You said about backpacking,
or the back of the truck while it's going down the road, because you need to get it taken care of, in short order.
Now that's a new one.
I'm not sure I trust myself with a knife in the back of a bouncing truck.
Yeah. You gotta trust the guy behind the wheel.
And in my group, I don't trust the guys behind the wheel.
Fair enough. Hey, all right. Speaking of, but speaking of Brady with his dog, is he just doing local stuff, or is he willing to travel?
I mean, he'll travel a little bit. I mean, I know he's going down into northern Maryland. He's in the Gettysburg area, so like Adams County, probably go to York County, Franklin County on the north side, and then
how long do you think it would take him to get to like Cecil County?
I don't know, maybe
2 and a half, 2 and a half hours.
I was just curious, just in case, if I ever need one, I'd like to call somebody I know. And I've seen a couple of people that not that I'm friends with, but I know their names, have already reached out about, put something out there looking for a dog.
Yeah.
Just looking for a name to, throw out there to people.
It's one of those things where it's new right now, so he'll probably run for it. He wants to get that dog some opportunities, and maybe after he does it for a little while, he might tighten his radius. But right now, worst he can do is say no, that's too far. But definitely want to get his name out there and promote his channel. He's gonna put out stuff, that the successful stuff and the stuff that doesn't work. Like he just trailed one on Saturday, and I don't know how far he said he took the dog, took it about 400 yards or so, and they ended up determining it wasn't a fatal hit. But he's still going to put that out there just to document the process, and it's fun to watch. I've watched that dog from a pup up learn and get better as she's really impressed me. So
yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. So just trying to, that's what we do here. We just want to promote other guys and what they're about. We've got a lot of guys that hang out here as part of the group, part of the collaborative, and you guys put together great content. And we want to promote it and share your names across audiences and cross-pollinate, that sort of thing,
Right. Yep.
So as we go into it, let me hit some of these comments. We got Mr. Bollner here. He's supposed to be doing fall cleanup. He couldn't be on the show tonight, but he's processed some ducks on the tailgate at the hotel in Ocean City. I can imagine, man. Feathers
everywhere. Oh yeah, I bet.
There ain't nothing better, man.
Especially when you're doing them geese and you're pulling out all that down. It's like it's sticking to your hand, like flicking down, just flying
once
everywhere.
You get wet. Yeah, once your hands get wet, man, it just goes everywhere. So anyway, listen, guys, I know it's a kind of an impromptu show, but I want to hit a couple of fall hunting things. But before I roll into that, worst processing fail. We all process our own stuff. You got a fail that you want to share? Tell a story.
I got a fail, and nothing particularly crazy, but we bought a block of pig fat to pork fat to mix in with our burger, and we used it in one deer, and then we started using it in the second deer. And when I pulled it out of the freezer, it smelled different. And I was like, okay, like, maybe it's just the way pork fat smells after it's been stored in the freezer. And I put it in, I ground up a whole deer, put it in all the burger. And the first time I cooked a pack of that burger, I could tell that pork fat had went rancid.
Yeah.
Somehow it went rancid in the freezer, and so that whole deer was wasted. Yeah, that whole deer was basically wasted because there was just no way to get it out of all the ground meat because it was just mixed in, and the first deer we had done with it, we tried some of it, and even it had an abnormal taste to it. So I think the fat had already started to go bad when we had gotten it, and it just got worse from there. So, well, it's basically 2 deer out of that, outside of like your steaks and roasts and stuff like that.
Yeah, anything that's burger.
Yeah. So
yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, that was a hard lesson.
Buck, I know you do that, right? You do a little mixing of.
We do some mixing, but I kind of hit on to last episode. I've messed a lot of deer meat up, trying different recipes for snack sticks and bologna and stuff like that. I've never had to just throw any away. However, there was some that it was only good for catfish bait, but it was really good catfish bait. So,
right.
Yeah.
We just didn't go back to that recipe, but that's probably the worst fail. I mean, other than that, Ron and I come from the same cloth that way. It's pretty tried and true methods.
Yeah. I mean, personally myself, I want some steaks, but I do make a lot of burger out of my deer. So I mean, we grind it up, and I don't add any fat to it. I like the deer. It's maybe a little bit bland, but it's super lean.
Right.
And I'm not making snack sticks and that sort of stuff that you need it to prevent it from drying out. But yeah, I mean, we've done a lot of stuff in the butcher shop, and it's just like hunting. I have just as many fun stories to tell about the butcher shop as I do probably being out in the field doing that sort of thing. So,
oh, dude, wintertime, you kill a couple deer on a Saturday night, you hang them up, go out there Sunday, listening to football on the radio, drinking beers, cutting deer.
That's it. That's a good time.
Ain't much better than that, man. I'll tell you that right now.
I mean, I could spend my time doing it. Now, do you guys have you guys done any furs? Like, you do any skinning or tanning of your hides?
I haven't tried it personally. My dad messed around with some taxidermy just a little bit.
Right.
And it's tough. My buddy actually had a friend that had an alpaca that passed away, and really, really wanted the fur from it, or the hide from it. And so he was, just took it on a whim and, skinned it and tanned it and everything himself. And it actually turned out pretty good. And he just kind of watched YouTube videos on how to do it all.
Yeah. YouTube's great because everybody out there telling you how to do it. Some people actually know how to do it and other people don't. I remember watching I needed to do something on my mower deck, on my lawnmower one time. And so I Googled it on YouTube. I YouTube searched, how to get this, this mechanism underneath my mower deck. And the video comes up, and it's a guy, and he's like, first thing you do is you just push the tractor over on its side, and then you can see what's underneath. And I thought, this is awesome. This is why you consult YouTube, right? There's always a guy out there like that.
Those are some of my favorite reels. It cracks me up. It's like those POV. It's like a guy with a toolbox and his screw gun. He's like, my wife thinks I know how to fix everything. As he's like walking to the next shop, and that's the next scene. It's like him in a corner watching YouTube on how to fix it.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, for sure. And that's the thing. Like, as long as you talk like you know what you're doing, there's somebody out there. I say it all the time. There's somebody out there that knows more than me, and there's somebody out there that knows less than me. And so I'm just passing along what tribal knowledge I do.
You just got to fake it till you make it, man. That's how my whole job career's been. You just got to fake it till you make it.
So let me hit you guys with some fall hunting buzz, some season access, and quick hits. I'm not going to stay and spend too much time on this. I kind of threw some little factoids together on the whim here, but I guess from the federal perspective, there's the Interior Department of Interior added 42 new hunting fishing spots across 87,000 acres of refuges. So like it's small numbers, 42 new locations, but it's more public land for everybody. So I don't know how that impacts us necessarily. I know that it's Maryland's been in for a couple of weeks. New York's kind of exploding right now. Their bear season, turkey, waterfowl, it's all underway.
Right.
September's kind of like prime time. You getting out doing any early archery down there in Maryland?
I have not, man. I've just been so jammed up with life. My wife works every other weekend, which makes it a little bit tougher. But hopefully next week or the weekend after, I'll be able to get out there. But like I said, and I know you saw, but Mason,
he got a nice.
Yeah, he's been hitting it hard, and he got a nice one. So thanks for looking up.
Buck, you're getting ready to go out and hit Ohio here in a week or so.
Yeah, hopefully the EHD didn't kill them all before we got there, but they're saying the property we hunt, they're saying they haven't found anyone yet, but like it's all around there. So I mean,
yeah, I heard Ohio was getting hit.
Fingers are crossed. We haven't went out. Normally by this point we'd have been out and had a camera or two up. Nobody's been out, so we're just gonna. Next weekend, we're going for it. We're just, we're going to head out and we're going to hunt Saturday and Sunday, and it is what it is. I'll be able to tell you. I'll tell you after I was out there whether it's good or not.
Yeah. Well, I'm
just ready to be in the woods. I'm just ready to,
get some of that therapeutic time in the tree.
Yeah, just go out there and sit there and not see nothing and watch squirrels all day.
Right.
Taking the saddles out.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
So you started that last year, the saddle hunting, and you're sticking with it.
For sure. Yep. Like a big wrecking ball hanging from a tree up there. But
I want to see you rappel out of a tree.
Probably accurate.
I could do her. Yeah, I can do her.
I messed around with the saddle stuff probably like 2 years ago, and it was fun. Just wasn't 100% for me, but that's all Mason does.
I want to lounge, man. I want to sit. I'll use a climber. I'll take it up, but I got a nice seat that I can sit in. It's like sitting in a hammock all day long, reclining.
My saddle is my saddle is by far not as comfortable as my climbing stand.
Right.
However, we're talking about 7-8 pounds as opposed to 24, 25 pounds.
Oh, no doubt.
If I'm going in there for the whole day and maybe the whole weekend in the same tree, I'll take the climber in and go up and hang, and sit there and hang out in it. But to bop in, bop out, different tree in the morning and then in the evening, and maybe the next day is different. You can't beat the saddle for the in and out,
And you don't do a whole lot of like all day sits either, do you? Like you do
and
90 at the evening.
Yeah, and 99% of the hunting I do is on public land.
Yeah.
So it's not like we're putting a stand up and letting a stand there, because if we let it there, it's probably going to be gone when we get back.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Right.
So, last year I had it down pretty good. From the time I got to the base of the tree until I was ready for a deer to walk by, it was like 9.5 minutes.
There you go. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
And I'm not the most nimble guy in the world here.
Nobody's accused us of being fast. Yeah. I heard you say one time.
Yeah.
Nobody's accused of Mentzer of being quick.
But it's just comfortable for me. So I trust the equipment and go up the tree, and it is what it is.
Right.
I haven't fooled with it yet, but I'm sure I can be convinced. So
it was a pretty easy transition for me, because I like to hang from the harness a little bit when I'm in a tree stand anyway. Like if I'm standing up, I'm leaning out on the tree and just letting the harness hold my weight.
Right.
Kind of thing. So it was a pretty easy transition from that standpoint. I've always hunted that way, where, let the harness hold you,
Right.
Swinging in the tree.
Yeah.
All right. So how about this, guys? Colorado changes their coyote rule, like tweak it a little bit. They're saying small game license is now required. What do you guys think about that? Because frankly, coyotes are no good, right? I see coyotes no good.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah, man. I mean, so well, nah, I don't know where I want to go with this. I mean, Maryland, we have to have a small game license to hunt, fox, raccoon, anything like that. I believe the last time I checked, you did not need one for coyotes. I could be wrong on that. But for an animal like that, I wouldn't think that should be required because it should be like a shoot on scene kind of thing.
yeah, I mean that's the way I feel.
But the problem with that is if you feel that way about coyotes, then it should also be the same way for raccoons and stuff like that. Because the turkey guys, they're gonna want the same thing. So I guess it really just depends on like how much the license is. Really, if it's like $5-10, okay, whatever. If it's $45-50, yeah, there you go. State's trying to make money. So
how much of that can we? So I mean, I get it, right? Like I don't mind donating for wildlife. I'm all about conservation of wildlife, but I'm also this guy that I think the government like overreaches all the time, and they shouldn't be licensing everything,
right.
So the right to go out and kill something that I'm going to eat or catch a fish, I don't necessarily believe that that should be licensed, or regulated by the state.
I've always had that similar opinion, and I've always kind of tossed around in my head like, as a landowner, or if you're hunting private land, like you should not be forced to buy a license to hunt your land. But I can see how that gets dicey for the guys that are hunting state-owned land, where they have to buy a license because technically, I guess your tax money is paying for that state land in some form or another. So why should you have to buy a license for that? But the license thing it's a tough balance. It's a tricky thing to navigate.
Well, there's always those add-ons, which it goes to the comments. States just trying to make more money. Like, is it going towards conservation? Yeah, probably.
Right.
In all honesty, it probably is. But here in PA, we talk about how the roads are horrible in PA. Like we pay a ton of money in taxes, and the roads are still garbage.
Right.
The bridges are still garbage. So I don't know. I think that I wish people could regulate themselves, but you can't trust that to be done either. The reason we're in the situations we are is because people can't regulate themselves. They're out there shooting deer at last light with a flashlight in their teeth.
Come on, man. You wouldn't do
that. Who do you know does that kind of stuff?
That's why we have to pay license, because people can't self-regulate.
Right. And like I said, and I agree. It's just a tricky thing to navigate.
All right. So, yeah, I'm just going to try to bring this plane in and land it, guys. I know it's kind of like a round robin of discussion tonight, and thanks everybody out there that is watching for popping in and dropping a few comments. It makes it fun and interactive. Wish you were in here with us, Lee. He said $200 for an out-of-state Sitka stamp. Maryland is just trying to keep out-of-state hunters. It's partly true.
I mean, listen, I'm all about that. So I don't mind the non-residents having to pay a little extra.
Yeah, I mean that's it. Especially, you got those states out in the Midwest that are growing like big booner bucks. I mean, we've got big deer. You got big deer in Maryland, but it's not like going out and hunting Iowa or Kansas.
Who brought that up about the Sitka stamp?
It was Lee.
Yeah, we should have that'd be a good episode, because I could really get into that, especially about the Sitka deer, because I have some pretty good viewpoints on that from a resident to a non-resident guy.
Yeah, and I know a lot of guys that just like, look, it's different. It's a tender meat. It's like, it's just awesome. It's a different hunt completely.
Yeah.
Ton of fun. And you get out there, you Eastern Shore guys, and get those. There's a lot of guys in PA want to make that trip down there and do that. So can't hold that against the regs creating it that way.
Right.
So do you guys bear hunt? I know we talked about the guys in Cornell that do. Do you guys bear hunt?
Yes, sir.
Nah, not me. I mean, the only place that's really popular here is Western Maryland, and it's a lottery, and I've never put in for it. Never really had any inclination to put in for it.
All right. Well, if you want to bear hunt, Shane, let me know. You gotta come on up, and because I need somebody that wants to hunt bear with me.
Could a non-resident buy an over-the-counter tag for a bear?
Yeah.
Yeah, no problem. I mean, you can do it online. It's super simple.
I'll
hook you up. We'll talk after.
Okay. All right. That's fair.
It's always the week of Thanksgiving. That's the week. But I ask just to find out what's the best opener, if a bear season opener or bow season opener, like which you guys would prefer. I think I know which way you'd each lean, but Buck, I know you hunt bear. What do you think? Because it's different, right?
It's different, but I'm definitely the bow season opener. Like I don't hunt bears too hard with the gun anymore. Like I really like to get after it. Well, that overlap for archery. When you can archery bear, that's when I like to be out in the woods. If I can, if you see it, you can shoot it kind of time.
You're an archery guy through and through too.
Yeah. I mean, if I could be out of tags at the end of archery season, that would be the perfect season every year. That's just the facts as they are.
I'm still going to camp.
Well,
I'm still going to camp just to hang out.
But if I go to camp though, it's just my wife and kids with me. We don't really have a camp.
Right. That camp atmosphere. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah,
I got you. Well, this is it. This is why, and it's great that you pass that along to the kids, and carry on those traditions and stuff. But that's when it's fun to come on a show like this and tell old stories too.
Oh yeah, yep, yeah. There's a few of them.
So Shane, we talk about it all the time. I know that a lot of the theme of our conversations are about like hunting camp, nostalgic memories, that sort of stuff. Do you got that? Did you cut your teeth on that sort of thing too? Hunting club, hunting group.
Yeah, we definitely don't have. We don't do the camp thing here. Like cabins are not real popular in this area.
Right.
But opening day is still huge here. It's always a tradition. We all get together on opening day. We hunt all morning, go get breakfast. Shoot the shit all day. We all hunt the afternoon, and it is a tradition. It's always the same group of guys that do it every year since I've been a little kid. So we definitely rock that same vibe. Just no camp, no cabin.
Yeah, one of the things we talk about is like when you're the little kid, being included in the conversation.
Right.
And you know how it is. You start talking to the little guy or the little gal, and they're maybe a little bit more bashful, or they're not as vocal as we are. As we've been there and done that and stuff. But just to show off your deer or to include them in the conversation, so they feel like they're part of it. Going back to what we were talking about when we were kids, just even though we were the dogs busting brush and pushing deer and it was fun to be part of something.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what it's all about, boys. That's what it's all about.
Yes, sir.
Well, listen, man, I appreciate you guys hopping in and sort of carrying the load with me tonight. I don't know what I would talk about straight if I didn't have a co-host, which is what makes Tracks and Tackle so much fun. We got a great group of guys, and we have different guys that are coming on from one week to the next. So Shane, it's been a couple of maybe a month or so since you were with us, but love it when you come on, bro.
Yeah.
Good luck.
It's just been crazy, man. We finally got into a house we bought back in April. So this whole last 4 weeks essentially has just been moving and unpacking. And I mean, if you could see this room right now, there's literally just heads on the floor everywhere. There's boxes, just shit everywhere, man. It's just been it's been
a
crazy.
Big transition when you move. It's a transition, no doubt.
Yeah. So, but I will say this. I'll throw it out there. We haven't, Upper Bay Podcast is not recorded in probably about exactly a year now, specifically on ours. But Mason and I do plan on starting back up this month. So hopefully we'll have 2 drops on our Spotify before the end of September is over.
Have me on, man. Let me come on and hang on your show for a change.
Yeah, for sure, man. For sure.
You know?
We just kind of, we've been talking, and he killed that deer, and I was, fired up. Like,
You got a story to tell.
Yeah,
It's
time. I'm unpacked enough where we can record in here, so we'll get it going.
Check them out, man. The Upper Bay Podcasts on, and you do Spotify, and you guys got a YouTube channel too.
Yep, Spotify, YouTube. You can find us on TikTok and Instagram as well.
Awesome. I haven't made the leap to TikTok yet, but who knows? Maybe we'll get Buck. We can get your daughters to start a channel.
Yeah, they're full of content. I will promise you that. It's just a matter of someone getting a camera out.
Just capturing it.
Just capturing it. They're full of content.
Well, listen, man. I know you're headed out to Ohio here in a week or so. Good luck to you.
Yep.
Certainly capture that.
Well, we'll do our best. I felt like last year I got a pretty good run on that opening week. We spent a week out there last year.
We got a nice video put together on that.
Yeah.
You guys took a couple nice bucks, and we were able to put together a video. So just record everything, man, and I'll do my best to make something from it.
Yep. No, we'll try and capture the moments and the memories, because my mind don't work like it used to, so I'll forget it.
That's fun. One of the things Shane and I were talking, we were probably texting about this, but we were talking about going back and watching old videos, for the memory factor.
Yeah.
And some of my first videos that we put together, like, look, the videos I put together now aren't super professional, but the ones that I started doing at the very beginning were really, like, I had no editing skills at all. And but there's still, it doesn't matter, man. You're watching that, you're remembering the story, reliving the moments, and it's a ton of fun to, like, just like we sat and started this show by watching that old Robert Redford scene.
Right.
It's fun to sit and watch some of the stuff and talk through it with one another. So we should probably do that one of these episodes, get a short video and relive some old moments.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, boys. Well, appreciate you. Always leaning on you guys to help carry the load. Thanks everybody out there that's watching and sort of chimed in tonight. Tracks and Tackle, we're always about nature being our playground. We encourage you guys to get outdoors, and always want you guys to stay wild. So we'll catch you on the next one.
Later.
See ya.